My wife removed this shepherd's hook at our property, and I want to show you what she's done. As I disassemble this, if you look here at the bottom of this, you see that it has this curly thing here on it. Well, there was a point on this that stuck out about this far, and she didn't realize that you screw this down into the ground, so she just wiggled it back and forth until she could get it out. In doing so, broke the point off of this. So what I'm going to do today is try to put a new point on this so we can continue to use this shepherd's hook. What I have here is this is broken, and I bought this right here. And what I'm going to do is cut this off and try to weld it into this thin tube. I don't know if I can do that or not, but we're going to give it a shot and see. Then that would give me this as a point to screw down into the ground. And this is used to screw into the ground to fasten a post or a dog chain or anything like that. So it's designed to do that. I may put a little bit better point on here than what I have. I may not. It might be designed to work well like that. So let's get right at it. I focused in on this so you can see what I'm working with right here. And what I did is I took this rod and I shoved it in there to get all the residual dirt out of it. And now what I want to do is put this in my vise and just cut this off so I can slide it up in there. I may have to get a tube to put in there as a fuller to take up the difference of this. So let me get this in my vise and I'll show you how I cut it. I want to gain the full flatness of this here on my metal so that I get a nice square cut. So it's going to be cut right there. So let's cut it. Now you could cut this with a hacksaw. You don't have to have a power saw like I do, but I'm 70 years old and I try to find easier ways to do things. My shoulders just don't work anymore like they used to. Now let's take this over to the grinder after we test it in the end of the rod to see where we want it. The whole idea that I have here is to slide this in here like this with this right there, and then that would screw itself down into the ground and hopefully not be so loose that it doesn't hold on. Now I've got to decide how I want to do this to get the best weld. I have some ideas. I may just leave it like that. And if I do, I can adjust this up and down because it goes into the ground to help stabilize the pole, and it's plenty tall. So if I put it down like this and weld right here on that, that would hold a lot. But if I could find a pipe that would fit up in here and then fit over the end of this, that would be better. Let me see if I can't find something. I did find something. This is an old sprocket that I had on one of the old go-karts I used to fool around with when I was a lot younger. It had this little pipe on the end of it. I took it on the vise, I cut it off, and I've kind of cleaned it up. And I think I'll be able to tap that right into the shaft over there. Let's see if it fits. I put a wire brush in my drill and I ran it in here just to clean that up a little bit. You can see, because I want that nice and clean. Now let's see if this will tap in there. It's really tight. If it goes, it's going to be tight. It's going. Slow, but it's going. Oh, right there it's in. Now let's see if our other shaft fits in there all right. It should. It's still a bit loose, but what that does is give me thicker metal right here. Ideally would have been to find one that fit perfectly, but this is going to do. I'm going to go ahead and use it, and I can weld that all up. So what I need to do is clean all this paint off of this shelf, and to do that, shelf off of this rod, and I'm going to do that with my old Craftsman bench grinder over there with a wire wheel on it. I've had that since I've been 20. That means that thing's 50 years old. It's pretty old, isn't it? I'm going to use this wire wheel that I have right here to clean this up. You can see that that's cleaning up beautifully, so I'll get this finished up and we'll move back over to the workbench. I have this shaft centered up in there so I can get my welder around there. I think it'll work just fine. The way I did that is I've got a bunch of little nails shoved in there, and those nails I just pulled off of these electrical wire staples. They were just the right size. Pulled it off like that and just shoved it right in there, and it's just the right size. It's yeah, I used this as shims from that. And let me share just a little story. When I was a kid and I would drag this stuff home to work on it, I didn't have resources to go out and buy all the things I needed to accomplish what I wanted to get done. So I would just scrounge around, find what I could, and use it. And I still do that today, I guess. Now, when I was in construction, obviously we didn't do a lot of scrounging around. We went to the lumber yard. It's expensive to pay for labor these days. But one thing we did scrounge around on is I reconstructed a lot of different wood construction structures. What I mean by construction, I meant to say structural structures that or big timbers. And you just don't go to the local lumber yard to buy big hand-hewed timbers or even logs that would fit into log houses, timber frame barns, grist mills, that sort of thing. So yes, we did tear old buildings down and salvaged a lot of old material. Well, before I moved to town, I had so much of that stuff, it was ridiculous. I couldn't even give it away hardly. A lot of people use it for decorations in their home, you know, wood trim, wainscoting, fireplace mantles, you name it. But I'm a scrounger, I guess. I don't know if that's because of my age or the way I was brought up. I'm not a hoarder. There's a difference. I'm not afraid to get rid of something if I feel it's time to do it. So let's get back to this. I have this shimmed up and we want to take it over to the welder and see if I can't get some weld on that. Hope I don't burn myself. We'll see. There we have it. I want to show you one last thing. That's pretty straight, isn't it? I mean, the rod itself is bent, but that is spinning pretty straight. And I think if I built that up with some decent weld And with this going in here as far as it is, I could drill a hole and put some spot welds on that shaft. I may do that. But for now, let's get this thing pulled apart, get this off of it. So all I have is this right here. And let's get, what the heck? Drop everything. Let's get this welded up. Let's see if we can't get this welded up. Not the best looking weld, but it's coming. I want to show you what I have done. I got part of it welded up. I need to clean that up a little. I'm not the best welder, and I will put some more weld on it. I see that I need to get more weld right in here so that this too becomes part of that whole works. And to do that, I need to clean it up a little bit better. So let me get this done. I recently restored this old Craftsman drill press, and we're going to try it. I think I will catch the shaft there. I don't know, but let's drill this and see what happens. I don't know if you noticed or not, but I did go through the pipe, hit something solid, went through that, and then hit something solid again, which tells me that I have a hole through this along with the rod here. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and make that hole the size where I could slip a small bolt in there and just bolt it. And then I'm sure that this won't twist off in the ground. Well, we're getting close to the end of this. The only thing I want to do to this yet is put just a little bit of paint on it to keep it from rusting. So let's get that done here. By the way, this is my paint that I use in the shop a lot. Rust-Oleum Rust Reformer. I recently signed up for affiliate partner with Amazon, so I have a link in the bottom that if you want to buy this, you might be able to find that there. Quite honestly, I'm not 100% sure how to use it yet. It doesn't cost you any more, but helps me out in my channel. So it's greatly appreciated. There's the finished product. Now I can put that in my stack of completed projects. If you watched this far into the video, this is the end. I appreciate you watching. If you have any other questions, or if you have something you want from me, just please ask in the comments. I'd love to hear your ideas and how you would have repaired this. And don't forget, I'll try to get into the description or the cards for that Craftsman drill press. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. It's greatly appreciated. I'm just an old guy in a shop trying to get some junk back usable. If you like videos like the one I just showed you, I'd encourage you to watch this right here. Can it be fixed? Sure it can. Can you fix it? You're darn right you can fix it. Until the next one.